You did?
I just hit record.
You know what? That's fitting.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. We're not 10 minutes into it.
No.
We're not 2 minutes into it.
More like 11.
11 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, it's been so long. I forgot. So if you...
Don't we normally have a regular that reminds you?
So if you want to watch the... so I do have a... It's called TED Live. I think I'll leave there's a link to it somewhere. I will upload this live stream to that when we're done. Yay. Man, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I forgot. I've spent like, it was like, okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to hit record. And then, but anyway, thank you everybody.
You didn't remind me, so I
can't believe it. I cannot believe we hit 100,000 subscribers. I cannot believe, how did they go to 13? They were at 16, and then they went to 13?
Maybe there was a review on the play. Maybe
Cardoso Media, thank you. That's your job from now on. I appreciate it.
You've been tasked.
But anyway, so it just seems weird to me that I'm just a random guy. I haven't even touched cameras till like 3 years ago.
Has it been 3 years?
Yeah, almost 3 years. In February, it will be 3 years. Well, January 26th, it will be 3 years. So in a few weeks, we will be doing this for 3 years now. And it, like,
man,
I hadn't even touched a camera before that. When I started YouTube, I was using, it's upstairs because I just saw it the other day. I was using her DSLR that I bought her for Christmas one year. It was a Nikon.
A long time, like 7 years ago.
Yeah, Nikon D5100.
It's 31.
It shot, no, it was 5100. It shot 1080p. Barely it shot 1080p. It had no autofocus. Well, it had no continuous autofocus. I think it had a microphone port. I don't remember. But it was such a pain in the butt to use. And I had no idea how to use it. I was so afraid of that camera because it had a manual setting that I just started using my cell phone. Bill Utah, $1.99. My position is keeping track of the subscribers.
Yes,
Bill Utah is the official scorekeeper for the Everyday Dad. Bill.
It wasn't official 100,000 until
yeah, it wasn't official. The 100,000 didn't happen until Bill Utah said it happened.
It's true. He is the tally master.
You didn't do
but I didn't know.
How do you not know? That's what
But
you
I
do.
didn't know it was going to happen.
That's what you always do. What are you talking about?
With the everyday kid, you like wiggly, wiggly, diddly, diddly, and I don't know what to do.
Okay.
I just hit the rock. Hit the rock because I can.
But yeah, so very exciting. Thanks to everybody. Bill Utah, $1.99. Not to remind to start the recording. We got
No, that's not your job.
We got to assign.
We've now assigned it to Cardoso Media.
I can't believe I forgot.
It sounds like.
I can.
Kenneth Duke, I hope you're doing okay, buddy. And I'm drinking coffee because.
Kenneth Duke, I'm also drinking coffee. This is not one of those weird mixtures of coffee and soda.
Yeah, but like you have soda on the table.
Well, I've got this prepared because it wouldn't be an Everyday Dad live stream without the non-sponsor of the Everyday Dad, Coke Cherry Zero, with that delicious taste. That is definitely not sponsoring the live stream.
No, nobody is sponsoring this live stream except for me.
You're not sponsoring any.
I allow this to occur.
You know what's sponsoring this? The work that I just put into this thing for like hours today.
Now you remember,
hours today to set this up.
Remember how I said in the beginning, I was like, babe, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't tell anybody. And you're like, well, okay. And I was like, relieved because I don't know how to have to explain this. Right?
Okay, so that's a fair point. There is at least for me, I can't speak to everybody that does YouTube stuff, but when you first start out, it's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of weird, and you don't really want any... And the camera's not centered. I just realized the camera's off.
What do you mean it's not centered?
It's not flat.
It looks fine.
It's going to drive me crazy. But anyway...
it looks fine.
So, like, when you first start out, you're like, you don't really tell anybody. You're like, well, I'm making YouTube videos. It's kind of... Not that it's weird or that there's anything wrong with it. It's just... It's not something that everybody does, and so you get nervous about it, and so you don't tell anybody. But then there was about a point, I think when we hit around 60,000 subscribers, it took me, a year to get 10, and then another year to get 50, and then almost another year to get 100. So it took us about 2.5 years to get 100. And around the time we hit 70, I just started telling people, like, it's not weird to me anymore. At some point, and I don't remember the exact, like... I don't remember the exact moment, but at one point it went from, oh, you're that guy that makes YouTube videos? How weird is that? Like, why are you a weirdo? making YouTube videos.
Don't
That's so weird.
talk like that.
That's so weird. You're making that
Don't
online
talk
videos yourself.
like
You're just putting
that.
yourself out there, huh?
Oh,
So it started that, but then at some point it switches, and then at a certain point when you hit like a level of success, people are like, "You make how much? How do you do that? You make those videos, huh?" It's like, B, weren't you just making fun of me like 2 months ago?
We still got these chairs.
These chairs are gross, by the way.
And you know what? I Am Wedge.
I'm here to lobby for new chairs. It's like pea soup has been spilled on the street. Look, we went furniture shopping today because this is not.
I don't know.
So we kind of jumped the gun a little bit on the stream. I wasn't actually planning on starting the stream this week, but I was sick of waiting.
Look,
and
the
I
chairs
really
are here by popular demand.
What?
If I was quicker, I would have swatted.
So we went. So this table, we're gonna get a new table, and we were looking at chairs too, but we can't get new chairs because somebody.
I want these chairs. These are my book
These are the
reading,
grossest
nap taking chairs.
These are the grossest chairs.
These you don't
They are
understand how
characters.
comfy they are.
We should name these. Like we should set like a goal. Like
Maybe we can ask our friends to help us name them.
like, hey, if you
Like
you
Squishy and
if
Sally
you super
or
chat so
something.
much, if we hit like a super chat goal or something, we can name the chairs. I don't know yet. That's totally just off the top
Yeah,
of
but
my
what
head.
if it's like
Mike Kaz 199? Thank you so much. You helped me a lot on my gear. Well, that's actually the best thing, right, about this whole endeavor is when people watch the videos and they're like, man, that actually helped me out, or I found that entertaining, or I didn't know about this until you talked about it. And that's what, like, I mean, anybody can, yap about stuff, but finding somebody to actually find it useful, that's what's most important to me, because I do really enjoy doing this, or I wouldn't do it, which is why it's a fantastic hobby of mine, and I really love it. John Parkinson, $10. Love your channel. Congrats on 100,000. Well, thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Yeah, just thanks. Long story long.
Yes. Whoa,
Thank you,
Chris.
everybody.
On the same team.
Whoa, Chris. Keep the chairs, Ted. I'll remember that, Chris.
They're so comfy.
I'll remember
they
that,
swivel.
Chris.
Look, you guys, I saved these from the dump.
No, you brought the
Reduce,
dump
reuse,
to us.
recycle.
You brought the
You're
dump
rude.
to us.
Look, I recycled you. I saved you.
I am way better than these
Saved
chairs.
you.
I am way better than these chairs.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
I don't think she's
It's
actually
true.
here to help.
It's true. Genuine altruism. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, girlfriend.
I don't believe that. But yeah, so
Okay.
what else? I also wanted to talk. So what's happened since the last time we did a live stream? Lots of cameras have come out. Lots of things have happened in like the YouTube space. So yes. So
Did you tell him this is our third studio?
Is this our third?
Third.
Oh well, it might be our fourth because we started the live streams when we started live streaming. So this is, if you are new to like the channel, if you joined in like the last 6 months, we used to do a weekly live stream. We did that for like a year and a half almost. Of every week we did a live stream.
Date night.
It is, and I think we're
year.
gonna start doing the streams again because I've missed doing it. Like I've missed hanging out with you guys and interacting.
Who are you gonna do it with?
Somebody. I'll find somebody. You just walked in the house today. We already
Find
talked about
somebody.
that.
You just need somebody.
So it's been really great. And so we started off back in a house, and it was just me, and it was the 10,000 subscriber goal. It was a 10,000 subscriber goal when I bought her a microphone so she would know. Because I bought you a microphone, and so
Yes.
you were talking on the streams.
But it wasn't
But
visible.
you weren't on it. And then when we hit 10,000, you started showing up on the streams with me.
I never wanted to be on here. I like anonymity. It's great.
Good, you got the word. I'm proud of you.
Oh,
proud of Here you go.
Take your rock and shove it. You better watch yourself.
Maxwell Media, we are currently using the Audio-Technica AT875R.
The Lumix something or other.
Well, that's not the mic. This is the microphone.
What's
That's
the camera?
The camera is the Panasonic Lumix S1H. It looks fantastic, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about the S1H. So if you have questions about the S1H, do like at Everyday Dad or at Wonderwife and send her the questions.
I'm trying to watch them, you guys, but
if you don't. So if you do like at the Everyday Dad or at Wonderwife in the question, that like highlights it so we can see it. And if you send a super chat, it like goes straight up to the top. I'm just saying.
terrifying.
But What was I talking about? Oh, this looks fantastic, right? Like, I'm really impressed.
You look okay.
I am impressed so much by this camera. I mean, it should for the. It was not expensive at all. I mean, this is a very budget camera.
Okay, I'm not a new subscriber to the channel, so.
This very reasonably priced camera that we're currently looking at.
Did you get it from the dollar store?
Maybe.
The $1,000?
No.
How much did that camera cost?
I don't want to tell you.
Okay, I'm looking at the screen to see you whisper to the side.
You're not.
Okay?
I'm not whispering anything. Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's very reasonably priced.
Okay. See? It's delayed a little bit, but I saw you.
It is delayed a little bit, but it looks amazing. Like, I love this camera. I love this camera so much. Whoa, Chris, you... No, you don't get to see...
S1H is around...
You don't get to see anything. Whoa, Chris, I'll remember this one.
So rude.
I'll remember this one.
Now this is going to try to back up as soon as I upload it. You little shenanigans.
That's how you win the live streams. Welcome to the Everyday Dad live stream.
$4,000?
What? No, what?
Is that real?
What? I don't...
Is that real? What, Chris, is that the truth?
I don't know what these people are talking about.
That's a lot of shoes, you guys.
What?
That's a lot of shoes. I don't know if you follow on Twitter, but I said for all the cameras that you
I'm just going to say, there's some people that have been, like, throwing some under the buses today. Does that make sense? There's been some bus drivers in that comment section today.
I am what says that doesn't count the lens.
It doesn't count the lens.
Goodness.
We have the S1H with the Lumix 24 to 105 f4 lens, which is a reasonably priced.
Whatever happened to reviewing the cheapest? Okay, that was my kind of channel.
There's still a whole channel for that. I haven't done it in a while. That's something I do miss doing, reviewing the cheapest. So
maybe we can do a live stream from one of the cheapest.
Something that you find out, like, as you do this, you're like, hey, I've got this good idea. I've got this good idea. I want to do all of this stuff. The problem is that, like, time is a finite resource. It's okay to block another mod, Gary. Oh yeah. Mods are not safe. Whoa, Chris is on some seriously thin ice. There's some thin ice going around here today. But,
well, Chris, I need you, okay? You're going to be the research assistant. Anytime I ask a question, he doesn't answer truthfully, I'm going to count on you to be the truth teller. Bill, you're on thin ice.
So, no, Bill's doing all right. Bill's doing fine.
Kenneth Duke goes, bye, Chris.
So about the reviewing the cheapest. So you get, like, all these good ideas, right? You're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then you're like, oh, time is a finite resource. And the thing is, right? So you don't always necessarily realize, like, how, like, close to burning out you are until you, like, take a step back. So we used to do 4 videos a week.
Yeah.
We used to do 4 videos a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the Everyday Dad, and then reviewing the cheapest on Saturday, plus a live stream. So we were putting out 5 pieces of content every week. And at the time I was like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. 5 pieces of content, whatever. And then we took a step back and we started doing 2 videos a week. Oh my goodness.
Oh, so much better.
Oh, so much better. It's like, it's night and day. Plus, I can enjoy the content again, and I can put a little more love into each video instead of just like, okay, why am I cranking there? I got to crank this out. Oh, there's a problem with the script. Don't have time to fix the script. Oh, there's a problem with the edit. Don't have time to fix the edit. I just got to go.
It was too much, you guys. It was too much.
Maxwell's. Hey, what's up, Maxwell's? I think that's the Maxwell's. Hold on. I think there were some questions, and I'm sorry that I totally skipped by.
Well, while you're looking at that, I just want to say, like, find your work-life balance. And if it's not fun, don't do it. All those videos were a lot in our family. It taxed everybody. And we still have, like, regular jobs, too. Oh, girl. Get it out. Shake your mane out, you little unicorn.
Not sponsored. So that's a really good point. And as I do, like I said, I want to turn this live stream into something that talks about like families and creation. So I got into a discussion about this earlier today on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you should. It's where I spend most of my time.
At what is it?
It's at every_daydad.
I don't know. I don't follow you.
But anyway, so there's this, like, I do not believe in the hustle culture. Like, I don't support that, and I don't recommend that to people. So when I first started YouTube, right, I totally bought into it. I think we all do. You know, if you come from like a background like me, where you've never done anything like this before in your life, it's really easy to look to the experts and say, wow, this person is saying that you got to hustle. You got to grind. You got to do this. And I'm not saying that you need a good work ethic. Like good work ethic is very important in life. But you also got to balance it. So I'm not going to throw any names out there, but there was a creator out there that is extremely successful. And I heard them say the phrase, if you're not doing daily, you are irrelevant. And I was like, wow, this person knows what they're talking about. And this was right around the time, this was what, 2017?
3 years ago.
This was early 2017, right when the daily vloggers were like, that was what was popular. I was like, okay, I see these are popular. This guy says I got to do it every day. I'm going to do it every day. I did it for 46 days straight before I just about had a mental breakdown.
Me too.
It put huge amounts of stress between the two of us.
Oh, yeah.
And with how she is, it's already stressful.
Y'all, turn your faces away from the screen.
I couldn't say it.
You're dead. You're dead. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
I've had too much
how
caffeine
I
tonight.
am.
But anyway, so I spent 46 days straight daily vlogging. Those videos are not on the channel anymore, but it burned me the F out. Like, it was terrible. So whenever I see like people talking about like, I gotta do more, I'm not sleeping, I'm working through everything. People, the human body can't put up with that. Like I do. Oh. Like she was saying, we both have jobs outside of YouTube. I've got a very like time-intensive full-time job that you sometimes goes between, on a good week, it's 40 hours a week. On a bad week, it's like 80 or more.
Yeah.
So
plus we have our family.
Plus we have family, and that's so. All right, I am the everyday dad. It's time to get on the dad soapbox here.
Oh, stand up. Go on then. Stand up.
Well, I can't. I'm figuratively on the dad soapbox.
Oh, okay.
Figuratively.
No, go on and stand.
So as we talk about like creation and family, so there's two things, and it doesn't matter what your profession is. If you're a dental hygienist.
I know it's hard for you to say.
And it's very fancy. But whatever your profession is, there's two things you got to do when you're done with it. Because no matter what you do in life, eventually that will say, thank you for whatever you do. It's time for you to either move on, or you got to quit, or you got to retire or something. The two things you need when you get done with that are your health and your family. Those are two things you can never get back. The time will never get those back if you burn that bridge. So even if you are out there and right now you're watching, you're like, I want to be like the everyday dad. I want to be some crazy person that talks about cameras on the internet.
Yeah. You
have to balance that. Your health and your family, you can never get those two back. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I know I said I'd get to questions off the figurative soapbox.
Oh, well.
So way back, like I'm sure this was a while ago. Matthew Campbell asks, I have $1,000 to spend to get a Lumix G9 or Canon ESRP for 2020.
Lumix, we're using one now.
Well,
you're welcome.
It depends. Do you want better stabilization, 4K 60, better colors, better recording options and codecs? Go with the Lumix G9. If you want better stabilization, if you want better autofocus and you want an easier to use camera, go with the ESRP. And it only does it does 4K with a gigantic crop, so it would be a 1080p camera.
Just answer it.
I did answer it.
Just answer it.
What else do I need to answer?
Just, you're done now.
Harrison Family Vlogs, $5. There's 130 people, but only 50 likes. Now go start liking people. Well, yeah, thank you so much. Thanks to anybody that likes or is here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back to any of the questions. If you've been asking questions, so if you have a question, shoot it to @WonderWife. She's actually
Oh.
I'm a chatter. I'm the chatter.
Oh, really?
Yep. I'm the chatter.
Had no idea.
I know, right?
Had no idea.
What's up, the Shep family?
Hey, yes. Thank you everybody for chatting. I'm trying to catch up. It's so good to see some of you.
It is so good.
It's been forever, it's felt like. So it's good to see you. I see Doc showed up. Of course, Kenneth, like I said, we're thinking of you, buddy. And whoa, Chris. I am Wedge. Yes. Hey, I'm Wedge. Just side note, been looking at Subarus. Thank you. And might get that car yet.
Connor Hunter, I was very much looking at the FX9.
What's the FX9?
Don't worry about it. It's
it
nothing.
mean?
It's like a.
Is that a car?
It's like bubble gum.
Well,
it's
Chris,
a book. The FX9
fact
is
checked
like.
it. Fact
oh,
checked
hold
it.
on. What just happened?
What'd you do? Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh!
What just happened?
Are we off?
No, we should still be good.
Oh no! What have you done?
Well, I didn't do anything.
Well, clearly you did. I haven't done anything.
Hold on. I think Sidecar just crashed.
What does it mean? Oh, both computers.
Hold
are
on. Hold on. It's okay.
Are we here?
I think we're.
Can you
I think
see
we're
us?
Still good.
What's happening?
I think we're still good.
Can you guys see us?
I think we're good.
Give me some feedback.
Okay, so the.
Oh goodness gracious.
Okay, I think it worked.
Are we okay?
I think
we
we're
good?
okay. So
good?
what
We
happened
here?
is I'm using so this is my iPad mini and I've got this sidecar over to my iMac. So I'm controlling the iMac with my iPad and it just died. So
oh my
it
word.
kind of freaked us all out here just a little bit.
It's like, oh, we're back and we're gone and now we're still here. But that's good. Good. Look, you didn't use any foul language, babe. Proud of you.
I didn't.
Proud of you. Proud of you. Ouch.
So yes, the FX9, I have considered it.
Paul.
But I just
says
got
$11,000.
What?
That's the cost of a car.
I'm just gonna say that we've got some wonderful people in the chat today.
We got some truth tellers. Got some truth tellers.
I was gonna say, is the channel called Wonder Wife or is the channel called The Everyday Dad? I assume people that subscribe to the channel would be on somebody's side here.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I can't tell lies. Look, I know you dabble in your hobbies and all of this, but I don't know how much they cost.
Coalition Gaming, $2. Also redoing my audio office studio. You dig it. Well, hey, when you're done with it, shoot me a link. I'd love to. One of my favorite kind of videos to watch is watching people set up studios in offices.
We'll, you don't worry about that. I'll worry about
12 people watching? What happened?
No, it says 109.
Oh, mine says 12. I feel like there's some weird things happening because my
and I'm in top chat too. I'm not.
I've had the spinning thing like all evening. Yeah, a car can't record in 6K. Michael, unfortunately, the FX9 cannot record in 6K either. So the FX9 is a Sony cinema camera that has their new color science, their S Cinetone.
Oh yeah.
It has internal. So here's the thing, right? So if we're being honest, I love the S1H, but I'm not seeing like huge, and you'll see this in the Tuesday video, because I just finished the script earlier today. I'm going through a second rewrite of the script, which I have time to do now, circling it back to what we were talking about earlier. But I'm not really seeing the big, the S1H is the best footage I've ever gotten in my life.
Oh, man.
However, I'm not seeing the 3 times the price difference. It's not 3 times as good as the footage I get out of the GH5. So we're having some discussions with ourselves.
Oh, internal dialogue. Fancy that.
Internal dialogue, which basically goes forever. Ashtosh, Nikon D3500 or Canon versus Canon 1500D. Neither of them would probably be that good. I would go with whatever the SL2 is in the international market. I don't remember the number. But the SL2 would be better than either of those. It has the flip screen, it has good continuous video autofocus, and it has the flip out screen. If you were looking for a DSLR style camera, that's what I would recommend. That is what I would recommend. Yeah, Mark, hey, what's up, Mark? Yeah, this is where we're definitely kicking it off.
Hanging out.
Todd Filler, I don't know that I'd agree with that. I think the G9 is a fantastic camera, and I think with the updates that it's gotten, it is one of the best. The problem is, though, it has all the image quality specs, and image quality is important, but it's still missing some of the audio features. Like the audio you're currently hearing is with a powered XLR microphone with the DMW XLR1 on top of the Lumix S1H, which does not work with the G9. It does not work with the S1R. It works with the GH5, the S1, and the S1H. And that thing by itself is worth it. Like the S1, the DMWR, the DMW XLR1 is the best thing Panasonic's come out with. It's... Oh yes, Mark, the chairs made it. We already had that conversation.
Yay!
The chairs made it.
Aren't you so glad to see some old friends?
The chairs made it.
All of us. Come on. These chairs are so comfy. Like, you don't even know. Like, barrel chairs are life. Like, I've already been looking for some more to replace these because when we moved here, we put them upstairs in what our little boy calls the relaxation room, which is where we have no electronics, just books.
When did that happen?
Hello? That's because you're down in the studio, right?
Not the dungeon. I felt like you were about to say the dungeon.
I was gonna say something, but then I recall I'm not allowed to say certain things. So I'm not gonna make it a New Year's resolution. I'd like to make attainable goals. But yes, so our little boy calls it the relaxation room. I said, what should we call this? And it's actually a formal dining room. But we do not own a formal dining table. Not yet, anyway. So
we have expensive cameras, but we don't have formal dining room stuff.
Well, that's too...
$5 from Aldrin. Can't stay long, but want to stop by and support. Keep crushing, Gary. Hit me up if you head out to CES. Well, thanks so much, Aldrin. Aldrin, congratulations yourselves. You hit 100K. We didn't have a chance to talk about it on... He hit it before me.
Congratulations.
But we didn't have a chance to talk about it. Aldrin is one of the best creators I've met so far in this crazy journey of YouTube so far.
Did you guys meet at CES?
Well, we met at Spin Up first.
Kelly's
Spin Up
thing.
when Kelly invited me out for that. Did we meet at... I think we met at CES and then NAB. I'm not going to be able to make it to CES this year, unfortunately. I would love to, but we just moved, so there was no time to, like, try to fit all of that in with the move. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it this year. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it to NAB. But yeah, Aldrin, you rock.
Andy says this is the digital dungeon, and I like it.
This is not digital.
Might have to get that vinyl on the wall.
Like right here? This is a big space we need to put something in.
Well, we have the Pillars of Action sign.
Yeah, but it can't go on the wall.
No, but it can.
Can't go on the wall. Peak Time Racing, love your videos. Thanks for helping me choose a new camera. Well, thanks so much. I'm glad we were able to help. Glad we were able to help.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to catch up, but Photo Gear Fun. Hey,
what's up, Photo Gear? What's up, Phil?
Aw. Yes, like just we always find a spot to eat. We have like a little table that has lots of history.
Oh, we have a dining room. Like we have a kitchen table.
Well, we have like a kitchen.
We just don't have like. So here's what I don't.
We have a big wooden like farmhouse table with the benches and the.
Here's what I don't get.
Seats at the head.
Here's what I don't get.
Go on, tell us.
Why have a dining room that you don't use? That's what we don't have. We
could eat in it.
We have a kitchen table that we use to eat food off of, but we don't have like a room dedicated to a table that we're not going to use.
But we could reduce, reuse, recycle that table to someone else. Get a bistro set.
It's probably going to be a gross green table that nobody likes.
Oh wow!
That nobody likes.
Wow, really? You know what?
What? She'll hit me.
I won't. Do not start that rumor.
Whoa, what was it? What was it?
What are you going to say? What are you going to say?
Word?
I'm not telling you. I know the word. Don't say
pineapple.
it.
So, if you've been watching the streams for a while, you'll remember that I got a real bad black eye at work one time, and then we came to the stream, and I must have spent
20 minutes?
20 minutes convincing everybody that somebody, I'm not naming any names, caused that, and then we had a safety word from then on.
Yeah, people suggested that perhaps I would strike this man, and if he needed to escape or perhaps like get relief, he could say a safe word.
What the safety word was. That's so good.
Who was that?
So I can't remember. Oh, I love these live streams.
Who was that?
That's why
it was the aerial photo. Who was that?
Whoa, Chris, $5. I love the green chairs, and I imagine green table would be heaven. Whoa, Chris,
The green
do I have to
chartreuse
demote you
corduroy.
first?
Stop it! Don't you do it! No, you leave him alone. Leave him alone. And Bill, you know what? I wouldn't just give him a black eye. I'd give him 2. And as you saw, there was only 1.
That got intense real quick.
He says, we know who really did it. And I wouldn't leave 1 unmatched.
Eric P, the Everyday Dad, Sigma FP thoughts. It's just not for me. Like, so I am clearly a YouTuber. I don't really like the cinema cameras. I've had a cinema camera before. This is technically a cinema camera. I've considered buying more cinema cameras, but I look for cameras that are easy to use to get the footage I want. That's why I've never used one of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K or the 6K ones, just because they seem like a frustrating experience. They seem like a pain in the butt to use. The image that they get looks gorgeous, but it's just like the Sigma didn't look like it really worked for me, and neither did those cameras. I went to a camera store by my house that had an FP, and I was like messing around with it. It seemed like, I mean, the build quality seems amazing, but it just doesn't seem to be a camera for me. It doesn't seem to be a camera. What's going on? What's going on here?
Nothing. Bill's on it. Bill got it.
Yeah, but Bill can't. I already hit them. So what? That's weird. Okay.
Are we on 1080p?
Yeah, we are in 10. The camera is doing 4K 10-bit.
Are we on Streamlab or no?
No, we are in OBS.
Oh, that's right. I've heard that acronym.
But the camera is doing 4K 10-bit, which we are downscaling onto the computer to do 1080p. Looks, hold on. Double up, So good. So good.
All right, so Professional Hail Mary has a question for you about the GoPro Hero 6.
What's up?
Black. They say when I play the media on the GoPro, right after I record, it doesn't play the audio. Do you have any idea what's wrong? How can I fix
which
this?
one? The 6?
GoPro Hero 6
The
Black.
6, I didn't really like the 6 that much. I used to get all sorts of like problems, like recording problems. Like I would use the 6 and then I would like finish recording and it just would not save any of my footage at all. If you're having problems like that, I would reach out to GoPro support. But the 6s were not very stable. Like I used to have software problems with it all the time. The 5 was pretty rough. The 6 was pretty rough. The 7, I've heard people have problems with it. I never had like software problems with the 7, and I haven't had any problems with my 8 so far.
So you would upgrade from the 5 to the 8?
No, I would reach out to GoPro support and see if they could help me.
This is a separate question.
Oh, would I upgrade from what, the 5 to the 8?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Kimberly Ingalls, yes.
Oh yeah, easily. The 5 was like, so the 4. So when I went to CES this year, like in January of 2019. And I got to talk with the GoPro team. I got to talk with the Nick Woodman, the CEO of GoPro. And when you talk to the people at GoPro, like the people that work there, the GoPro Hero 4 Black was like their pinnacle. Like they treat the GoPro Hero 4 Black as like what built their company. And it really did. The GoPro Hero 4 Black was a fantastic camera. The 7 was really the one that started to turn it around for GoPro, where they introduced that new body with the 5. And it really didn't like... It was fine, but it wasn't great. Where the 6 was also not that great. The 7 was good. The 8's fantastic. Like my 8 is right over there. The GoPro Hero 8 Black it's legit. Probably the only thing I don't like is that removable lens cover. If you are doing a lot of mountain biking, you're doing a lot of skiing, or snowboarding, I'd probably get the 7 Black because the 8 Black. The image quality is the best I've ever gotten on an action camera, ever. No other action camera comes close. But that non-removable lens cover that's tough to overcome, because like if you scratch that lens, you're done. And now they're like, oh, people are commenting on my videos now, well, why don't you buy the new roll cage? So it's like you got to buy a new cage to protect the screen protector, when they're like, oh, you don't want that extra piece over the screen protector because then it's another piece over the screen. Oh, so you're saying I now have the privilege to buy another $30 accessory to protect the screen that's bigger, and like, why wouldn't you just include that? Because when you sold me the 4, well, I'd never bought the 4, but when you were selling the 3s and the 4s, you included a case with it, so why not do that? That's of all the missteps they could have made with the Hero 8 Black, the lens covers is easily the worst. Everything else I really like about the camera, but that non-removable lens cover is a big deal. What else? You got any other
Cardoso
questions?
Media, Osmo Action or GoPro 8?
Depends on what you use the camera for. The Osmo Action is fine.
Can you take Osmo Action in the water? Is it waterproof?
Well, both of them are waterproof.
Okay, just seeing.
The Osmo Action is fine, but the 8 is just fantastic. Like I cannot, like the image quality out of the 8 it's like the least action camera footage I've ever gotten. And it doesn't, that's the problem with like trying to like talk about things and then show footage on YouTube. The YouTube or the Twitter compression just destroys your footage. Like it just mauls the image quality to death almost.
Thanks.
And so when you see stuff that I post, like, so when you post stuff to like YouTube or Twitter, or I guess I don't post anything on Instagram really, but it's hard to show how the footage actually looks. The GoPro Hero 8 Black, excuse me, it's not action camera kind of quality. It's fantastic. But again, the screen protector. What's up, El Jefe? Hey, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Whoa, Chris. I went full MFT, then decided to need something with a sensor that had some decent ability in lower light. Yeah, I've got an A7 III that's kind of what I'm like bouncing around between right now. So I currently own 3 cameras. I've got the GH5, the S1H, and the A7 III. And I've been using the A7 III for photography, and the S1H would then replace the GH5, but I don't know that it would ever replace the GH5 because it's so much bigger and like harder to maneuver. But the image quality out of the S1H is just crazy. Crazy. Thanks, El Jefe. I really appreciate it. Yep. Looks like from what I've seen is that the colors are close enough between the GH5 and the XT3 that you could match them relatively easy. Well, so the XT3 is great. It's like an APS-C sensor GH5. It's got some of the best like recording codecs capabilities you can find. It's basically like a small little cinema camera.
Oh.
But I've had problems with the autofocus, and so Panasonic's autofocus is not great. We're not using the autofocus right now.
Really?
We're not using autofocus right now.
Oh, okay.
I rarely use Panasonic's autofocus, but Panasonic has lots of ways to get around needing their autofocus. Like their app's really great. They're like you can focus from the flip screen really easily. I've had problems with the XT3 with focusing, and there's no way to like fix it. Like the app is garbage. The Fuji app is the worst app in all of cameras. Like their app sucks. There's no other way to put it. And there's no like front-facing screen to focus. So like on a Sony camera, I know that if my face is in the frame, it will be in focus. Their new cameras, their autofocus.
Your skin's gonna look good.
It depends on who you're talking to. Some people love Sony colors. Some people love Sony colors. Some people really hate Sony colors. I don't have a problem with them. I think they're fine. But the Fuji cameras look amazing. Great colors. The Eternal, like Chris was saying, the Eternal profile is so good.
So good.
So good.
So good.
But it's just the focusing that. And some people. So I don't think he's here, but there's a guy on Twitter that I follow named I'm Patrick.
Oh yeah.
He has the XT3 and the XT20, and he says he never has problems with the autofocus. So some people don't. I have had legitimate problems with the autofocus on an XT3, which is one of the reasons I don't own one right now. But the color science in the Fuji cameras is unreal good. It's so good.
Chris. Yes.
Scuba Doo, is the Fuji XT30 really good? Yeah, for the price and the size, you're not going to find another camera that does 4K 30. It does 200 megabits internal. Does it do 10-bit internal? I don't think it does 10-bit internal, but yeah, the Fuji XT30 is insane. The Fuji XT30 is crazy.
Hi from Oregon. The Mogansons.
I'm Patrick.
Let's see.
He got called out. I'm Patrick got called out in a video the other day.
By who?
By me.
You did?
Well, I feel like he called me out in one of his videos.
Bro.
Because he talked. But so if you don't know, so look, what is on this camera right now? Oh my goodness, nothing. We're not going to talk about this.
How big is that lens?
It's not about the lens. So there's
the filter.
No.
You're gonna bump it. The battery grip.
No, So I almost always, I see it right over there. I have the hot shoe protector on my camera.
Hot shoe?
This is a hot shoe.
Okay, what do you do? Oh, is that where we put the flash?
Yeah, but I have the protector on. I don't have the protector on right now.
That little black square?
Yeah, it's right. I'm looking at it right there.
Ow. Sometimes
But
I
anyway,
vacuum those up.
Patrick never has his on. Ever.
Why?
I don't know.
But why would you have it on? What's the advantage?
To protect. It's a hot shoe protector. I'm protecting the hot shoe.
From what?
Whatever. The elements.
If you drop it, that's the last thing that counts. You've broken the
But stuff can get
in
there.
That's like worrying about a hangnail when you broke your leg.
What? No.
It's true.
Look, this is important.
Well, for what? Why?
Because you could break it.
Well, what do you mean? Like, it just sits in there. Does it, like, power it up?
Yes.
No.
You see that XLR thing up there? Where do you think that plugs into? The hot shoe.
I thought it's just sitting up there. It's
no,
plugged
it's
into
plugged
the thing.
into the hot shoe.
It's plugged into the thing, whatever the thing is. You got 1,400 cords back there.
There's 3 cables.
There's a lot.
There's a power cable, there's an HDMI cable, and there's a microphone cable. And the microphone cable is running through the XLR attachment that sits on top of the hot shoe. Hot shoes
Did you follow that? Did you follow that?
Hot shoes are important. Well, it's
Okay.
called a hot shoe because it has electronic connections in here.
Say it again.
Hot shoe.
Bless you.
I can't believe I just walked into that.
You said it like 400 times, and I was like, when can I say bless you? You just wouldn't let it happen. So I was like, we'll see if he does it.
I can't believe I just walked.
Patrick, there you go, buddy.
He's not even here. He's not even here.
It doesn't matter. He'll watch this.
I can't even. Can't even. Live stream's over. We're done. We'll see you in 6 months.
Down.
We'll see you in 6 months.
Has it been 6 months?
It's been like a year.
It's been a minute.
See you in 6 months.
Modern Day Tech wants to know, are you going to CES?
I will not be going to CES.
Bummer. That's right.
I will not. No, unfortunately, I will not be able to go to CES this year.
I'm just saying. Yep. People in the comments said they never had a hot shoe fail. That's right.
That's because you protect it with the hot shoe cover. I'm getting it right now.
You go then. You go.
I'm tweeting out to Patrick right now.
You better.
He's not in charge here.
I'm in charge. Clearly. Have you seen the mug? Get your face out of there. Hot shoes be darned. I didn't even know what one was until this moment. So there you go.
Well, if it did not have power.
Everybody learned something new today.
If it did not have power, it would be a cold shoe.
I'm just saying.
We are now fully protected. Everybody knows.
God bless protection.
This is keep it PG.
Yeah, right.
Team hot shoe covers. Heck yes.
Hot shoe cover for life.
Yeah, if it does not
It sounds like you need to make stickers. The everyday dad says hot shoe covers matter.
Protected. Protected.
Protect your hot
Andy
shoes.
Salinas between the XC3 and the G9. The G9 for me because, I would pick the G9. I just love... So you have to take this with a grain of salt. I'm not sponsored by Lumix. The only brands that I consistently work with are Sony and Nikon, but I'm straight up a Panasonic fanboy. I've been using, and that might just be that the first camera I ever really purchased was a Panasonic Lumix G7. And
Was it really?
Yeah, the first one. And I've always been a fan of their cameras. So the first really nice camera I ever bought when it first came out was the Lumix G9, which I immediately broke.
That's right. Was that the one with the double SD cards?
Yep, the dual SD card slots.
I remember because you had some tears.
I did. Well, so the Mavic Air came out. If you guys remember, I used to be predominantly a drone channel. And so the Mavic Air came out. My pre-order was messed up. So we lived in Augusta. I had to drive... Augusta, Georgia. And I couldn't get... My pre-order was not going to come in time. And I was like, heck no. I took time off from work. We're making drone videos. So I was able to find one in a store in Atlanta, which is 2.5 hours away.
Oh, that's right.
So that night, I got home from work at about 6 p.m. I drove to Atlanta, made it to the store.
2.5 hours away?
Right before it closed. Picked up the drone, drove all the way back. I'm like already exhausted. I start doing the unboxing.
Oh, man.
And as it actually was this thing right here. This thing right here. There was an SD card in here. I pulled out the SD card and I chipped it just a little bit. When I put the SD card in the camera, it like that chip broke off inside of the camera. So instead of being like a sane person and letting the professionals fix it, I took, and this is how little I knew about cameras.
What? No, you've always been an expert.
I'm so ashamed of this because I did destroy this camera.
What did you do?
I took a butter knife.
You didn't.
I swear to God, I took a butter knife.
You didn't just think, I'll get some tweezers?
Well, I tried. I bought some jeweler's tweezers, and those didn't work. So what ended up happening is I took a butter knife.
That hurts me deeply.
And I tried to fish it out. I destroyed the SD card slot. Like, it did not work. It was done. 2-day-old camera. Destroyed the SD card slot.
Humble pie, people.
We got that video out.
Should have asked your wife for help.
We got that video out. I ended up selling that camera on eBay for like half off.
Nothing. Because only one SD card slot worked.
2 days old, and the person got basically a brand new camera for like half off. I was like, hey, just so you're tracking the SD card.
Yeah, you have fully disclosed.
Yeah.
But dang.
Yeah.
That hurts the pocket.
Oh,
that hurts the pocket.
And that was when we were at like 10,000 subscribers. We did not have money to be burning.
We still don't.
We did not have the money to burn on that, so that sucked real bad.
I can't believe you did that, but I can believe it. I've done some shenanigans before, nothing with a butter knife.
Oh yeah.
But I've had some
butter knife. So yeah, I started off with the G7. I've always liked Panasonic cameras. They've just now that they've got features that I'm used to and I'm comfortable with, I will always have at least the GH5. Like even if the S1H doesn't end up working out, but here on the stream, like I'm watching the stream on her.
Oh man!
Like my iPad can only fit the chat, but I'm watching the stream over here. And it looks fantastic.
It does.
Yeah. So okay. I'm really I think this sold me on it. Even though it's expensive, and I was already kind of sold on it. But
all right, here's a question for you.
Send it.
Dak Murdoch, yes. Which camera is supposed to have a streaming port built into it?
Well, I mean, you could buy like a dedicated like web camera. Like those just by USB plug into your computer, or any camera can do that if you buy something like what we're using right now is the Elgato Camlink. So I just have the HDMI from the S1H plugged into the Camlink, which is plugged into the computer, and then the computer treats this camera as a web camera.
Maybe you'd like to do a video on it.
I think we already did.
Oh.
We've been doing this for a while.
Is there a place that anybody can reference that video? Is it on the TED Live? Or
I don't remember. I would just if you YouTube Elgato Camlink, you'll find it. It's okay. So I used to use the Blackmagic Ultra Mini Recorder, and that's a piece of junk. Don't buy that. I had nothing but problems trying to use that thing. That thing was so frustrating. What? That was such a frustrating piece of crap to work with.
Oh, Gaston S. Photo says, wait a second. You're trying to protect the hot shoe, but you stick knives in the SD slot.
Look.
Thank you.
Look, we all learn lessons.
Thank you.
We all learn our lessons.
That is a true story.
That was a true story. I can't lie to you about that. That actually happened. I put a butter knife in that SD card slot, and that darn thing just stopped.
Did you ever tell him you put a knife in the toaster daily?
I didn't put a knife in the toaster.
You do it every single day.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, just to like take out. Yeah, but that's not gonna break anything.
Yeah, but just cause electrocution. Risk taker. Okay, here's a couple more questions for you.
What's up?
Let's see.
Hey, if you have any questions, do @WonderWife, and she'll be able to
I try to keep up with these.
Since we messed up the beginning of the stream, we'll probably go another 10 minutes. The streams normally last about an hour. Since the first hour will be cut off.
And did you say we messed it up? I don't recall that.
We're a team. We win together, we fail together.
Oh, wow. Way to bring me down.
Go ahead. You said questions.
I did have questions. Somebody keeps asking the same question, and I keep seeing it, but then the chat moves pretty quick. So I apologize. Okay, so here's a couple. Somebody asked about the Insta360. Didn't you do a video on that?
I did.
Okay. Michael Long wants to know, can you just use ultra wide on the iPhone 11 and get the same results?
You can use ultra wide on the iPhone 11. That's the whole reason I bought my iPhone 11.
Okay.
Was for the ultra wide, but indoors you will not get the same results.
Okay.
The sensors on these have not yet caught up to the place where they can do really well indoors. But outside, this is phenomenal. This has changed a lot for how I capture video when I'm trying to be out and about. Like the iPhone 11's insane. The camera on it is, if I were making cameras, I'd be scared because it's fantastic.
Josh Walters, we are casually monitoring the score of the Buckeye game.
Yeah, Clemson, what is going on?
Right, we're almost to the half, and it's 16 Ohio State, 14 Clemson. So we are monitoring.
Yeah, we're not watching the game, but we've got like the Google score up right over here.
So we're watching.
Because we both graduated from Ohio State.
OH!
I-O.
Yay!
Normally,
yes, that's where we met, you guys.
It's not here. What else? Angel Villanueva, do you know any settings to eliminate the hunting and autofocus on the GH5? No, you're never going to eliminate that.
Sorry.
The best you're going to do is the new firmware. When I made the video a couple of weeks ago, which is my #1 video probably of the last little while, the new firmware works pretty well for acquiring focus, but you're never going to 100% fix that wobble. It's just the way the autofocus system works. Contrast-based autofocus just has that wobble. There's nothing you can do about it. But the good thing about the GH5 is it has a lot of ways to get around needing to use continuous video autofocus that I never miss it. Yeah, I never really miss continuous video autofocus. But that's why I keep the A7 III around, is if I need a camera with good autofocus, I keep one. If you were looking to do something similar, the A6400 would be a fantastic solution for that too.
What kind of computer do you use to edit your videos? The Mac Pro
I have
or something?
I have an iMac Pro. I don't own it. I have a business lease. Because if you're a sole proprietor business like a YouTuber, you can get a 0% interest lease through Apple for the iMac Pro. So I've been leasing this for years, almost 2 years now. This was the best. This was the best thing I've ever invested money in. It ends up being like $150 or $200 a month, but it saves me so much time because it's the most powerful computer I've ever owned. If you're considering doing this, I would recommend checking out a business lease of the iMac Pro. It's awesome.
I just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us. I see a lot of people commenting like where they're watching from, where they live, and it's pretty international tonight. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks to everybody.
I know the different time zones. It may be like really early, really late. So thank you for joining us.
Hold on, I have
it might
a question.
be tomorrow. Who knows?
I have a question. Tesla FPV. I would like your opinion, please. S1H versus the Zcam E2. I will never recommend a Z camera. I really like what the company's doing, and they seem like the CEO has commented on my video I made about the Zcam. So it seems like they are looking for feedback. But but that community is one of the most toxic communities I've ever seen. So when I reviewed the Zcam, I didn't review it, but when I checked out the Zcam E2, it was a camera being sold at full price. It was what, like $2,000. But it didn't do what it said it could do on the box. It shipped with like a firmware 0.83. And I think their cameras are good cameras, but you can't sell something for full retail price and not have all of the features unlocked. And when I said that in my video, I think there's like a Facebook group for them. They tore me apart for like 3 days straight. So they can have their cameras. It's not something that I need to be associated with. So so one of the benefits of being the everyday dad and this being a hobby, I don't need to check out anything. Like, this is all fun for me. So if it's something that does not, what does Marie Kondo, what does she say? Spark joy.
Yeah, spark joy.
If it doesn't spark joy, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm not gonna give publicity or airtime to a brand that has a bunch of toxic D-bags that use it. So now, I'm not saying everybody that uses a Zcam is a jerk, just the ones that decided to comment on my video calling me an idiot. So okay, then you guys have fun with your cameras.
It's not very constructive.
That are being sold at
derogatory.
That are being sold at full price without all the features. If you want to beta test for them, adults can do what adults want to do. But not against you, Tesla. But the S1H, I would buy. I did buy. That's what I would do. Is I like Panasonic cameras. Are there better specs and features on some of these, like, not third party, but on some of these lesser known brands? Absolutely. But reliability, if something breaks, I can go to Lumix Pro Support. If something breaks on a Zcam, they're going to tell me to go to their Facebook group, and hopefully we can all figure it out together. So no. Long story long, I would not recommend
it. Nate's Escape has a couple questions for you.
What's up?
The one, that's a lot. But if you can only stick to one camera company forever, which one would it be?
Panasonic. If I could only have one camera, If I could only have one camera, it'd be the GH5.
Oh, wow.
Like, this is... Like, I made a video saying that this is the perfect camera for a reason. Like, this is the best camera.
Oh.
The GH5 is easily the best camera ever made.
This one?
Yeah. So, and this is a line that I put in my This is a line that I put in my comparison video between these two cameras. The GH5 is a revolution in a box. Like, this camera is low enough price now. The lenses are reasonably priced. You can adapt anything to it. The image quality is fantastic. It does literally everything you could want out of a YouTuber camera. If I could only have one, it would be easily. That's not even a question.
The Lumix GH5.
Yep, that's my favorite camera ever.
What is that thing you took off of this?
The battery grip. This is a newer battery grip. It just lets you add another battery to it.
Oh. So you don't run out of power.
Yeah.
Does it draw a lot of power when you're using it?
Not really.
Does it get hot?
No, I don't normally use this. I only had this because we were going to use this to live stream, but then I decided to try out the S1H instead.
I just wanted to see how heavy it was.
Whoa, Chris, $5 enjoying the live stream. Hope you do it again soon. Also, green chairs forever. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll see you next week.
You just push it in. You got to crank it in.
Well, you push it in, and then there's a like.
I'm not gonna break it.
Oh, well, you won't break it. This is a tough camera. You just screw it in. But yeah, easily the GH5. Like, it's not even close. I really like Sony cameras. The A6400 was the best camera released this year. If you're looking for a camera with good video autofocus, that's what I would recommend if you're not looking for anything expensive. The A7 III is also a great camera. That's why I own one. But nothing can do what this camera can do. Nothing. The S1H can do more than this can do, but it's 3 times as expensive. No, it's more than 3 times as expensive. It's way heavier. It's not like... Yeah, the GH5. If I could only have one camera, it would be the GH5. It's not even close.
Okay.
What's up? You said more questions.
Oh, yeah. There's a ton. There's a ton. Han Boys asks, which camera would you buy for under $1,000?
Does that include the lens? Like, so you
like
can't...
total budget?
Yeah, if
1,000?
your total budget is $1,000... I would look for
open back something or other?
I would probably look for a used G85 because you could get the G85 and it would have 4K, it would have great stabilization. You would have a little bit of a crop in that 4K. It's an older Panasonic camera, so it has the older color signs and the older autofocus. Okay. It's not as good, but again, you don't need the autofocus in the Panasonic cameras to make it work well. Probably get a G85, get the 25mm Lumix 1.7. This is a 50mm equivalent, give you a nice shallow depth of field. You can find these for dirt cheap.
Yeah, do it.
And then get the 12 to 60 kit lens, and you are set. And that's under $1,000.
All right.
Or you could get the if you want amazing autofocus, you get the M50, which is a Canon camera, and then you can get the 22mm 2 lens. And this is my favorite EFM lens ever, which is, I don't own an EFM camera, but I own this lens because this lens is amazing.
Thank you, Iris.
You can get that. $2, Iris Kincaid. Thanks for the stream. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us.
Under $1,000. The G85. So
G85.
G85, M50, A6400 if you find one used. Those are the three. Those are the 3 that I would look for.
Okay, I am Wedge asks, what's the difference between GH5, GH5S?
So the GH5 has stabilization built into it.
So stabilization.
The GH5S has better internal codec capabilities. It's the more cinema camera of the GH5 line. It has a slightly bigger sensor, so you get a little bit of a wider field of view with the same lenses. It has better slow motion capabilities. I don't like it. There's a reason I never bought one. Oh, it has better low light. It has way better low light. It's one of the first consumer level cameras to have dual ISO architecture built into the sensor, like the S1H has. So it's way better in low light than the GH5, but the GH5 has stabilization built into it. And the colors on the GH5S, they really push towards red in a way that I don't like, so I never considered it. I would never give up the stabilization inside of the GH5. The stabilization is one of the things that ties the whole system together, and not having that in the GH5S was a terrible... I mean, the GH5S isn't made for people like me. It's made for people that want a crash camera to like put on a car or something for their production, because they don't like the way that the sensor stabilization on this will move and they don't control it. They want something that's locked down. But it's not for me. The GH5S, I'm sure it's fantastic. There's lots of people out there that love it. Brandon from This Is Tech Today uses it and loves it. Caleb from DSLR Video Shooter, I believe he uses it. And people love them. It's just I like the colors out of the GH5. Oh, it comes with the GH5S comes with Vlog standard. You don't have to pay for it. Josh Walters, $199. I'm sorry, buddy. You're not gonna get that today.
I thought it's coming. We're watching you, Josh.
I'm sorry, Josh.
We're watching you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the comment.
I've been getting messages from my Michigan friends who are saying, "I can't believe it. We're cheering for Ohio State." But we cheer for Michigan at bowl games as long as they're not playing Ohio State. Because we want the Big Ten to be elevated and SEC, right? Like, we want the respect the Big Ten deserves. Okay, sidebar.
Whoa, Chris, the GH6 is probably going to be the GH5S with IBIS and 6K. So the GH6, what would I want out of the GH6? Well, the only thing that I really want Panasonic to do is to swallow their pride and to use phase detection autofocus. Like, that's what I really want. Like, Olympus, everybody else does it.
Okay.
Everybody else does it except Panasonic. And it's... So I watched a live stream interview with their consumer level rep the other day, and they think their autofocus is comparable to what else is on the market. And it's not. It's not. The thing that holds Panasonic back is their continuous video autofocus. If the GH6 had phase detection autofocus, it would be perfect. I would like to have the 240 frames per second from the GH5S. I would like to have... That's really it. Like,
that's it?
Ooh, I would like to have the Vlog. I'd like to have the color science from the S1H put into the GH6 with phase detection autofocus, and it would be the perfect camera. It would be... Some people are like, hey, it's a Micro Four Thirds sensor. I need full frame. And while I do own 2 full frame cameras, I think this whole full frame craze is crazy. Like the GH5 and that Micro Four Thirds sensor is it's fantastic. This is my favorite camera ever.
Doc's asking, is there a time limit on recording? Iris says no. Do you agree?
For what? Time limit on
the GH5.
Yeah, the GH5 does not have recording limits, which is one of the really nice things.
Iris, you got it.
The A6400 also does not have record limits if you are looking for a Sony camera that can do that. Yeah, this is a very popular camera for all sorts of people, but when you look on the internet sphere, people generally, if you're looking in the YouTube space, people generally go Sony, Canon.
What's this? Put it
what?
down. What's this?
That's the hot shoe cover we were just
Bless
talking
you.
about.
Oh, bless you. Shout out to I Am Wedge for that.
I can't even believe it.
Just a little wholesome.
I can't even believe it.
Clarity.
I just
this
walked.
Evening.
I just walked into it again. I just walked.
I'm gonna have to get you a T-shirt.
I can't even.
You know I'll do it too.
I can't even believe it. It just happened.
What's so great is that just organic comedy. I just love it.
Nate's Escape, what's a good wide-angle lens for the GH5 for vlogging? It depends on how wide you want to go. Probably the 12 to 35 2.8 is the standard. But I have the 8 to 18, which is a 16 to 35 equivalent. This is probably my favorite Panasonic lens that they've ever come out with. I love this 8 to 18. I've only got 3 lenses for the GH5. I've got this. I've got the 25-1.7. And then the Sigma 16mm 1.4. And then these 3 lenses are all that I use. If you want just one all-in-one lens, that 10 to 25 is huge, but it's expensive. It's expensive, but it is an amazing lens. It is wide angle.
Okay.
10 to 25. Well, it's wide angle to standard. So we'll do 5 more minutes, and then we will call it an evening.
Professional Hail Mary.
What's up?
They have asked about the footage from the Hero 6 and the audio. Can you
Yeah, I would ask, if you're having problems like that, I would ask the GoPro support.
Tech support.
Yeah, ask GoPro tech support, because,
yeah.
I mean, I think we talked about this earlier in the stream, but the GoPro Hero 6, I used to have significant problems. I don't think I recommended the GoPro Hero 6. I'd have to go back and watch my videos about it. I don't think I recommended it because I used to have...
5.
No, I did not love the 5.
What was the white one?
The Hero 7 white? I think I still got
7. You didn't like that one.
I didn't.
Right?
That's my most popular video ever, calling that
But you liked the black one. Because there was a difference.
Yeah, the Hero 7 Black was good. The Hero 8 Black is good. The Hero 6 Black, I don't think I'd have to check. I think I said the only reason I would recommend it is if you had to have the waterproof body. If you did not have to have that waterproof body, not worth getting.
Forget it. Get the 8.
Peter's Cameras and Travels, your favorite camera related to YouTubers, the GH5. You guys are not going to trip me up. The GH5 is by far, in any situation.
If nothing else, you're
this
consistent.
Is my favorite camera. You look. Tell me another camera that was released this year that's not the S1H. That can do 4K, 30 frames per second, 400 megabits internal. It can do Cinema 4K, 422 10-bit internal to the camera forever, 4K 60 without a crop. It has full HDMI, flip screen, vlog profile that you can get installed on it. Totally customizable. The body is my favorite, second favorite. The EOS R is my favorite body of all time. But
tell us more.
Yeah, the GH5. Why do I keep putting this on? I never use this thing.
I don't know.
Where did you put the? Uh-oh.
Oh no.
When you had it, what did you do with the?
What do you mean? I didn't do anything.
There's a little rubber gasket that was in here.
Oh, I don't know.
We'll have to find that when we're done with the stream because that's important.
I don't know. I was just. Oh, it's right here.
Oh, good! Hooray!
I don't know how that got there, but I promise I didn't.
Yep, GH5, easily the best.
Swear.
Oh, I've been in top comments this whole time. I think I've been missing stuff.
I think I'm in live chat. So.
No, you're in top chat.
How do you know?
Because it says
live
top chat. Oh.
What does yours say?
I
I think I am in live chat, because.
Dang it! I was definitely in top chat. I hate top chat.
Mm-hmm.
John Young, the Nikon Z cameras. Yeah, the Z cameras have very good color science. The reason I haven't, so I just Nikon let me borrow a Z6 for like 8 months, and I just recently, like 2 days ago, returned it. It's a great camera. The reason I didn't stick with the Z6, why didn't I stick with the Z6?
Didn't you say?
I like the Z6. The Z6 is one of my favorite camera bodies of all time. I like it better than the body of the A7 III lenses. So the E-mount, that's where all the like good lenses are right now. The Z-mount technically is the better mount option, but E-mount is where all the investment in budget and affordable lenses are going right now. Even like the Lumix camera that I have right now, like I wish I could have the 17-28 that I've got in the A7 III on this thing. That 17-28 is less than $1,000. I mean, there's a reason I called it the best lens of this year. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, 2 minutes. We will take 2 more questions, and then we will call it an evening.
Time flies when you're having fun. We're at halftime
I know, this has
for
been,
the game.
This has been great.
Yeah.
We're definitely, this is on, like Donkey Kong.
It feels like coming back, seeing old friends, and...
It really has. We've definitely missed, like, I miss doing this so much.
It felt weird not to do it, but it feels good to do it. Is today Saturday?
Today's Saturday. We started at 9 p.m.
You know how there's a meme going around town about, like, here's Christmas, and then between Christmas and New Year's, it's like, what day is it? What year is it? What's happening? Who's what? Where? When? Why? That's how I feel. And like, what's happening? Yeah. What day is this? Yeah, what year is this? Everyone's like, oh, gosh, we're coming up on the conclusion of the year. And I'm like, we are?
Oh, I'm sorry, Peter's Cameron Travel. The question was, what are my favorite YouTubers? Who are my favorite YouTubers?
What are your favorite YouTubers?
So I really like YouTube. So I'll answer this question in 2 parts, and then we'll call it an evening. So my favorite YouTube channels to watch, I've been watching a lot of, there's a channel called H Bomber Guy. He talks about video games and some like social issues. I like watching his stuff because some of his videos are just downright hilarious. I've been watching a lot of, I don't really have time to watch much YouTube anymore. I've been watching a lot of, hold on. We'll go.
You're going to go to subscriptions?
Well, it's not, I don't really subscribe to anybody.
Yes, you do. I hear the thing go ding ding.
I watched somebody that really
I know
irritated,
the bell goes off when
irritated,
that means.
What's her face today?
Oh, yes, you did. That was the topic just kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
So I watched that. What else do I watch?
You know how
I've been watching a lot of like, there's this video game. So I'm a big coward at heart when it comes to like scary movies and stuff, but I really like watching videos about other people talking about it because it's a layer of separation from me, so I don't have to get scared. So I've been watching a lot of, there's a video game called Pathologic that seems like a really just like eerie, scary video game. I've been watching a lot of video essays on that right now.
We had the best time showing our kiddo the Home Alone
Oh
video.
yeah, the Home Alone. We watched.
So there's a
those
Home
ones.
Alone video, and it.
But hold on, I'm still answering this question.
Okay, no one cares. So there's like a sin meter, like, and then there's like a death meter, and it shows like how Harry and Marv, they're like going through the house of torture, right? From Kevin, and it shows like boom, like what medical trauma has incurred from like the iron in the face and the slick stairs and the nail in the foot, and oh, it's so cringeworthy. And our little boy's laughing and laughing. It was the best to see that. I really like that. And
so back to Peter's question.
So I encourage you to watch it. It's really funny.
So, but to answer the second part of that question is, what YouTubers have I personally met? And they're mainly like the camera reviewers. And my favorite ones easily, Chris and Jordan from DP Review TV. Those guys are hilarious in person.
DPV TV?
DP Review TV. Digital
okay.
Photography Review TV. Chris and
oof.
Jordan.
Those
are my two favorite. Those are the best duo in the camera sphere, period. I love watching those guys' content.
Okay.
And talking to them in person was great. Gerald and Dunn is probably the nicest dude I've ever met in my life. I spent most of Sony Kondo this year hanging out with him just because, like, you go to Kondo or you go to events like that to do a lot of networking, but Gerald was like the first person to like help everybody else out. I think he shot most of it. If you saw behind the scenes or if you saw somebody's video at Kondo, Gerald was probably the person running the show, helping, like he was helping everybody. Fantastic guy. Who else have I met? Shoot. We had so many. That's one of the things that I really like about the camera sphere is everybody's great. Manny Ortiz, awesome. That dude's hilarious. I met him. He seems like a great guy. I met him in both Kondo and in New York for the A60 6100 and the 6600 release.
I've met Scott from Technically Speaking.
Yep.
Super nice guy. I've met Travis McPee from Travis McPee.
I would love to meet Travis.
When I do some traveling for work, I got to meet both those gentlemen. Super nice. So check them out.
So here's the funny thing, right?
So I don't attend the conferences, but
so I've never met Casey from Camera Conspiracies, but every single time, so at CES, at NAB, Dave Altizer. I met him, super awesome guy. He saved my CES trip this year by letting me stay with him.
Yes.
Aaron Zolo from Zolotech, awesome dude. But yeah, so it doesn't matter where a bunch of camera people meet up. This happened at CES, this happened at NAB, it happened at Kondo, and it happened at the A6600 and the A61. Anytime I've been around other camera people, somebody's going to start saying like, losers, or something like,
what?
It's a quote from this guy at Camera Conspiracies.
Oh, that's what he
It
says.
doesn't, as soon as a bunch of YouTubers get together, a bunch of camera YouTubers get together, they start quoting Casey from Camera Conspiracies. That guy's so I don't always agree with his content. Like, I try to be a more positive, upbeat person. I don't tend to generally try to be like super negative, and I don't really associate with negative content. But his stuff's hilarious. Like, I've been watching his content since he started. The first video I ever watched of his was his first video on Camera Conspiracies. It was about the A7 III, and I've been watching him ever since. His stuff, there's not a lot of YouTubers that can get like a full-on belly laugh out of me. He's such a deadpan, like, he has a deadpan, dry sense of humor. It's perfect. A Digital Life. So this is the last one, and then we will call it. We will call it for the day. RX8.
Yeah, or GH5.
Or GH5. I don't know what an RX8 is.
RX.
Like the RX 100 Mark 7, I assume is what you're talking about, or GH5. If it's your first ever camera, those are pretty expensive for your first camera. It just depends on what you wanna create. The GH5, again, it's my favorite camera, but I'm really used to it. If you need a camera with good video autofocus, this would not be a great option for like a beginner. And the RX 100 Mark 7, it has really good autofocus. It's got great video features, but it's got a very slow lens and a very small sensor, so it really wouldn't work that well indoors unless you have like legitimate lighting. So you'd probably spend way more on lighting than you would another camera. I would recommend something like the under $1,000 cameras I talked about earlier, because you also got to consider lenses into that mix too. So thanks everybody. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks everybody that watches.
We could go forever.
We could. We've been going for an hour and a half now. But
it hasn't felt that long.
I know it. I love it.
I'm trying to like catch up with everybody, see how everybody's doing, and
but
people have asked. I'm not going to do an after party tonight. I want to watch the game, and we are just unpacking everything and getting things ready to roll here, and just.
But thanks so much, everybody. We really appreciate everybody coming out, and we will catch you next week. I think Saturdays 9 p.m. is probably going to be we used to do 8 p.m., but I think we're going to move to 9 p.m. because the everyday kid, we got to put him to bed, and it's kind of we were having to rush around a lot. So I think 9 p.m. will be the time for it. Saturdays. We'll see everybody next week.
That'll be our first live stream in 2020. So everybody have a very safe New Year. Enjoy us, celebrate.
And if you want to see,
we made it this far, so the year's been good.
And if you want to see the replay, I'm going to stop recording, and tomorrow I will upload this to TED Live, where you can watch all the fun.
Oh, man.
Thanks, everybody. We will catch you next week.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, somebody put reminder to stop recording, Cardoso Media.